Yeah, I seen this one. You remember that white cop that's always like going viral and shit? That sheriff, fucking
The one that be talking
The
shit.
older guy.
yeah, older white guy.
Like, we'll kill you if you come in our county.
They killed some dude and they were bragging about it the other day because I guess like it was like some meth head or some shit. So they were trying to get into his car and they couldn't. So they threw some chemical agent into this nigga's car. He started spazzing, started shooting at the cops. They started shooting back, right? And they were like, yeah, he started shooting at us. We shot back. He stopped shooting. We kept shooting. I was like, yo.
He said that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like,
That's hilarious.
Now he dead.
they were like,
So we
yo,
don't play that shit.
he wanted to go to heaven and we arranged it. Like, I'm just like, yo.
He said that?
Yes. And I'm just thinking, I'm like, yo, like, first off, this is like, even though whatever the fuck the circumstance was, this is still a human being. This is still somebody's son, daughter, whatever the fuck the case may be. And you just sit.
Did he get any backlash for it? I mean, he's known for saying crazy shit like that, though.
I completely forgot what we were talking about, to be
The
honest.
the police, the sheriff guy.
Oh, no. People were fucking praising, like, licking his dick. Like, it kills me. It's like, because it's like, y'all like that when it's not your family members, when it's not somebody that you fucking know, but let it be like your fucking gun-toting uncle, like with the Confederate flag getting his brains blown out, and see if you don't think that shit's not cool. You know what I'm saying? For him, even if he deserved it, for him to be talking about it like that, like I said, for me, right? When you sit there and say, oh, he shot at us, so we shot back. I understand that. That's justified. He stopped shooting. We kept on shooting. Now that's murder.
Was he saying that to be funny?
No, he was being dead ass fucking serious. Like, and the thing is, like, he knows what he's doing because he's bringing mad attention to himself and his department and shit. So of course he's gonna go out there and feed right into what the cameras want. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not mad at him for entertaining the masses, even though he's a fucking cop. I just think that, like, when you're talking about how you just like murdered somebody, like, you might want to like have some sensitivity, or at least be smart enough to think about what you're saying, because to me, again, that sounds like murder. That don't sound like fucking.
It doesn't sound like murder.
But I'm saying though, like it don't, like it's beyond self-defense.
Yeah.
The dude stopped shooting and you kept on shooting. Like, so the whole point of shooting is like there's an imminent threat. You're in danger. You just said y'all pumped enough rounds into this car where this motherfucker said enough. And y'all was like, hey, load up the 50 cal. Like, nah, bro. Like, you need to go to jail. Like, I don't know. But there should be some, because it's like these cops are like almost like, I don't know, fresh out of Call of Duty, like like they're just at home fucking gearing up or on some simulator, and then they're just like fucking like a pit bull, like that hood pit bull,
yeah.
Just running. Let Mike Vick's puppies get out. You know what I'm saying? Like, see if they don't go tear up some people out there. Like, it's talking about that. I seen on some Florida news, this mother, she had a pit bull puppy, and the pit bull puppy ate her baby's fingers on one hand, like all 5 fingers and shit, while she was in the bathroom or some shit.
Now,
and
I'm gonna just go off on a ledge here and assume this is a white person. I'm just throwing it out there.
I mean, I'm not sure. Yeah, I mean, probably, but
Talking about eating baby's fingers. I've never heard of malnutrition.
well, I don't know. I just don't get where the race association is when it's the dog's fault. Like, it had nothing to do with
I didn't blame the dog.
No, I know. You're like, well, I bet she was white. I was like, what the fuck does that have to do? The fact this pit bull puppy went crazy and ate some fingers.
The fact that a baby would even get that close to a goddamn pit bull, or that a pit bull would be so hungry in anybody else's house but a white person.
When I got Max, and Max was alive. lot smaller.
I am tired of this unseasoned chicken.
I'm just gonna be honest.
These
with you.
baby fingers are
I've
hitting.
never heard of a malnutrition Hispanic or black
Oh,
people.
hell.
Nah, nigga, they eating food every night. So wait, I never heard of them eating no babies in the hood.
Nah, fuck that.
Have you heard of hood
Bruh.
babies getting eaten by pit bulls?
No.
Think about it.
I've heard hood pit bulls doing all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
But typically, at least from my perspective, right, and this is only from my experience, you know what I mean? So I can't speak for anyone else. But like growing up, our dogs were not well fed. Them niggas ate what was left, the scraps that was left.
But they're not
like
eating
was it?
babies.
But now white people.
That's what I'm saying. Think about what
White people will
happened
go to Walmart and buy Purina puppy chow, the whole works, and fucking.
Why would a
And that dog will still eat some baby's fingers.
eat baby fingers?
I don't fucking know. I figure
I've
it's
never heard of
it's
this.
the environment kind of thing. Like this puppy was maybe being abused or some shit.
Maybe.
Fucking.
They have a small cranium. So if you hit a dog in the head, a pit bull especially, can get the trauma like more than any other dog. So depending on how you raise them, you can raise them to be aggressive just from nothing. So that's possible. But like on a serious note, something's up with that whole. It sounds off, right? Do you know anybody else is out here eating baby fingers? Like, no. And I've known aggressive dogs that have lived with.
Well, it was a pit bull puppy, so I'm just assuming the mother was just like, oh, it's just a puppy. It's not gonna eat my fucking baby's
It
fingers.
doesn't make any sense that you would have a baby next to a baby pit
Excuse
bull,
me.
especially if the other. You have to know there's some signs of aggression. And they're not just eating fingers just because. Like that doesn't even sound right. It doesn't sound right. Like.
And
So
he was
you
jealous.
left the baby-
I don't know.
You left the baby with the fucking pit bull, and the baby's fucking fingers have gone missing. The baby with the baby.
Well, to be fair, right? Just to be fair, the pit bulls were originally bred to be nanny dogs for children. Like before, they were all demonized by the media and shit. Like pit bull puppies were traditionally pit bulls were left with the kids, and they were like the protector of the kids. You know what I'm saying? So like
once they're adults. Like they're puppies for at least a year. So you left this little ass puppy with this little ass bitch. That doesn't sound right. Like it sounds retarded. Like if anything, you should keep the dog away from. That's what everybody else does. Like,
well, I know. Like
That's not
especially
like-
like when our nephew was over. You know what I mean? Like the second that nigga kept coming up to Max, and Max kept coming up to him.
This is why I said race matters, because if this was a brown person, they'd be in fucking jail. That person wouldn't be, my baby.
Well, no, the woman, she's facing charges.
She should.
She's like
Yeah,
she's for negligence, for negligence and
Fucking
shit.
baby got.
But
I mean, even with Max, and Max is a shit too. I never kept Max by himself with Isaiah, and Isaiah was 3,
Damn, I just hope
4.
people shut him out.
Huh?
So I'm hoping they can reattach some little things. I don't know.
I mean, if they caught it on time where they could freeze them and do all that, maybe. But if not, then no. If she was taking a shower, and God knows how long that baby, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I never left Max.
Nah.
And Max wasn't
Man.
as aggressive as a puppy. And I never left Max by himself with Isaiah. But
Yo,
you never know.
what would you do if Max had eaten Isaiah's fingers as a kid?
Oh, he'd have been done. He had been done.
Like,
Put down on something. Something.
on the spot, I think, because I think it's like if that would have happened, like I would be trying to retrieve them fingers. I'd be digging them shits right out of that motherfucker.
The fact that is his first instinct to turn around and bite his fingers. That's like it wouldn't matter. Even Mickey's like the most gentle dog. You get in his food, he'll bite he bit the fuck out of Araceli. So
well, no, and Mickey, even though he don't even like the baby because everybody's giving the baby so much attention, he's not hostile to her.
nah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean, again, I wonder what kind of environment this pit bull was raised in, because our old neighbors had a pit bull, and that pit bull was But
it could have been a situation like Mickey where he was trying to get his food, and at the end of the day, we gotta remember that they are animals.
We're in their territorial.
Animal instincts, that shit kicks in that quick. So if he's eating his food, or even if he has a toy, Mickey don't like no one touching his toys. You got a toy.
Sound like the baby put his hand in the dog's bowl or some shit.
Something. Yeah.
Yeah, or maybe like he like yanked his ear or
But
something.
honestly, I don't blame the dog. I blame the parent.
No, definitely for being negligent.
Dogs are generally not aggressive like that unless there's abuse involved or something happened where they like put their hand in a bowl and the dog's a fucking it's a puppy, but a puppy, a 6-month puppy pit bull is not a fucking puppy. You want to leave around a goddamn baby, like that's your fault.
Yeah.
And if you're feeding them, especially when they have aggressive tendencies, I could easily see a baby putting his hand in a bowl and a dog just fucking mauling that shit. Just,
and it's like you say, it's not something that they wake up tomorrow and they're aggressive. That's something that you see. You see that
every day you feed them. You're like, all right, give them the bowl. They're like, no, nobody get next to me. You gotta break them of that shit. Like, no, this is my fucking food. I'm giving it to you, nigga. Like, no. And you let those aggressive tendencies build, or you leave them with fucking babies. You should get charged with neglect.
Yeah.
The fuck is wrong with you? Like, I don't see this problem happening in other,
communities.
They keep an eye on their baby, bro. The neglectful shit is people that they're on some drugs or some shit, or they're stressed out. Maybe she was tired. I'm just judging her, but I don't know her life. But still, like, you can't leave your fucking baby unattended, bro. Like that's rule number one.
Yeah.
Just think about it.
So speaking of animal instincts, since we freestyling right now, give me 1 second.
Beep.
Sorry about that. Let me run that back. So speaking of animal instincts and shit, right? Like, what do you guys think of what's going on in the ocean right now, where the orcas are taking down boats and sharks are swimming in closer and like seemingly targeting the fuck out of humans?
I don't know about the whole shark situation, but I feel like we have no business being all the way out there where the orcas are at.
Yeah, we're trying to get fucked up by Aquaman.
No
That's our
business.
fault.
Well, the orcas are chasing the boats though. Like,
yeah, but where are the like if you're running in my house, like you're in my territory, fuck yeah, like.
Well, I mean, like yachts, fishing vessels, anything.
You gotta
like,
think about it. Like, think about this. Like evolution, right? That shit is like outer space, right? So if we were comparing the ocean to outer space, and we say like we traverse outer space, but we could just like skim the outer layers, and we could dip in a little bit, but we can't go in too deep because of pressure. These niggas living in there, thriving. They're just knocking shit out, swimming at 2,000 feet, seeing the fucking Titanic thing explode. Like, oh, fireworks! Like, you know what I'm saying? They're down there, these big, massive motherfuckers. And of course, they're just like, whatever's out here is us. Like,
But
how many times have we won in the ocean?
But the reason I'm saying though is like orcas out of all marine life are typically known to be the friendliest to humans. They go out their way to save humans.
I guess
They've
just like,
up until 2017 there has never been a recorded attack from an orca onto a boat. Up until 2017, which is when this first started happening. And then orcas started training their own young to start doing this. And now they have like a literal like army of orcas by Spain that are just, there's been like 120 attacks over the last 2 years.
But nigga,
like,
I think like out in Japan, they out there just slaughtering them on boats and shit, just out in the open publicly. Like, they don't give a fuck.
Well, I mean, but don't you think like in Japan they would be attacking the Japanese boats then? Like,
they migrate. These are big, majestical fucking creatures.
Well, I don't.
In that general area, yeah, within like a 500, 600 mile
Yeah,
range.
but there's different orca pods. There's like orcas have like different variations. Like even like by their eye patches and their coloring. Like there's several massive orca pods across the world, right? So what I'm saying is like, why are this specific orcas like going on a rampage in this area by Spain where they're just like attacking boats left and right?
My guess is that it's been orchestrated somehow by someone. I don't know if it's whether their behavior toward that subset of orcas. Maybe they're doing illegal fishing out there and they're killing the fucking orcas, and the orcas are like, fuck y'all niggas, like, prepare to die, bitches, because you don't just like the same shit with the dog. We were just talking about that shit. Like, the animal doesn't just become suddenly aggressive in one geographical location where it's like, hey, we're chill everywhere else, but over here, we see you in these seas, nigga, you gon' die, bitch. You gon' fucking die. We gon' kill your whole family,
But yeah,
nigga.
but that's like how it is because, like, for example, I've seen plenty of TikToks where people just see orcas, jump in the fucking ocean, fucking swim along like it's Free Willy with them and shit, and it's all good. But over here, these orcas are tearing motherfucking rudders apart.
Right.
Like,
I'm telling you something
like-
right. They could be dumping like toxic material. We don't know what the fuck's going on in the ocean. The ocean's so goddamn big and we're so fucking small. We're not out there like knowing what's going on.
Plus, with the sharks, there was a drone footage of New York. Like, this guy flew his drone over the ocean, and there was like literally like over 150 sharks in this area, like right next to the beach, where there was like 3 attacks in 3 days. Like, it's just almost like, and here in Florida, there's a bunch of attacks out here. Fucking not too long ago, there was a footage that of Egypt and the Strait of Gibraltar, where this Russian tourist got ate in front of his fucking pops. Like, motherfuckers was swimming, crying for his dad, while this fucking shark was like a goddamn wood chipper. And the Egyptians, they got the shark and they killed it. But like literally, this dude was like, you can imagine, inside this fucking beast. You know what I mean? Like, and it's just like, yo, like, sharks.
You don't fuck with them. Just stay off their territory. That's what I understand it to be.
There
like,
have been shark attacks before in the past,
Stay out the water.
but never this amount documented like this.
They're
Like,
probably
where they're
hungry.
going.
We're out
Well,
there
yeah,
dumping
that's
oil, fucking
that's what I'm
shit.
wondering. Is
Having
it?
all that shit out there? Like, just they're like, fuck y'all niggas, you could all die. Like, I see anybody out here is gonna die.
Is it? I'm wondering. Is it overfishing?
It could.
Or is it like, for example, like them being sick of us and like the trash that we leave in the fucking oceans and shit? Like, and
that area over there in China is the most polluted area in the entire world. So if it's anywhere near that shit, then yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. And they out there cutting up fucking sharks in China. They have that shit. You can get mercury poisoning from eating little. But they eat shark bowls, you know, like legit. Like, I've seen videos of
No, I believe
fucking
it.
fins off. Like,
I didn't see
it's good for like the ball sack or some shit.
the weirdest fucking shit on TikTok. Asians eating some shit, which we'll talk about later. Cause listen, not to be racist, but there's an Asian food topic later. Y'all was roasting white people last week, Asians, and we was laughing with y'all. So laugh with us this week. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, I don't know. Like it was just like something that I've been thinking about these last couple of days, because I've been seeing so much more videos and people talking about it, stuff going on in the oceans. I don't know if y'all seen the video of the dude recording the supposed mermaid in Puerto Rico and Aguadilla. Like, there's just so much shit going around, and not just, I mean, of course that's like on the extreme side, but like, you know, just like so much going on in the oceans nowadays that
Somebody
it's like,
just needs to pop a mermaid, because everybody's talking about mermaids being everywhere. It's like, shoot their ass.
like I almost feel like we have to do like a peace treaty with these niggas or something. Like I don't know what they mad about, but like,
They're putting out these films misrepresenting their whole culture. They're like, nah, nigga, y'all see Aquaman too? Fuck that.
shit, if we got peace treaties with aliens, why can't we have a peace treaty with the fucking orcas?
Maybe the aliens are going against the sea people. We don't know, and they coming out the water and shit, and they just illegally occupying land. They're like, niggas, like, get these aliens up out of here, son. Like, we're not feeling them. And we're just like, nah, don't fuck with them aliens. And now they're like, all right, y'all niggas gotta die, son. I told y'all.
Y'all not gonna put us on reservations.
Come out here in these streets, you gonna fucking die. See what happens in Spain, nigga.
I seen what y'all did there.
Worldwide, y'all keep fucking around with them seas, nigga.
I see what y'all did with Indians. Y'all just gave them casinos and shit.
Right.
Real.
But anyways, welcome to the pod, yo. New highly offensive. It's your boy Jay Kush. Got Matt in the building. We got K. Episode 18. We getting this shit started. What's up, yo? What's good? How was y'all week? I know y'all on vacay. You know what I'm saying? Please elaborate. You know what I'm saying? Tell us about your vacation and whatnot.
It hasn't been very eventful. We just been playing some Pokemon. Let's go Pikachu.
Yeah,
Some Zeldaing over there.
Fortnite, you know what I'm saying?
Content, Kayla, content.
I'm not doing nothing. I'm at level, what is it? Pokemon are pretty high in their level.
So let's talk about the fact that our fucking baby nephew came down and spent some time. Fucking, you know, you introduced your boyfriend Matt to the baby nephew, to the family. You know what I mean? Like, well, yeah, but like this is like
reintroduction.
an important event. You know what I'm saying? Like, So, never mind. I'm done trying to get it out of you. Like it's like fucking it's like pulling teeth. Matt, come on, give it up.
I mean, you know, it was a good vacation. I feel like it was very relaxing. I got to make potatoes a lot. You know, apparently potatoes are a hit.
What are you, Russian?
No, I made some good. I made some good potatoes. So, you know what I'm saying? Handmade potatoes. You know what I'm saying? Not handmade, frozen, not frozen. Whatever. Potato master out here. Anyway, you know what I'm saying? We had good potatoes, good mac and cheese, good steak. We had steak.
We did have steak.
Chicken Alfredo was a shit. That Alfredo was a shit. I like the Alfredo.
So we did a lot of eating.
We did a lot of eating.
A lot of eating. A lot of rain.
A lot of rain.
It's been raining so much here in fucking Florida lately.
Raining like
and hot.
It's hot and it's raining.
It's like Vegas weather.
Like swamp ass is falling. The AC's out here dying.
Excuse me.
I'm pretty sure that shit put its 2 weeks notice in like while I was on vacation because it's just like fuck you, I'm not working for like a couple hours. I'm taking that's 8-hour break. Just gotta chill the fuck out, put the fan on or something. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. Almost lost them. You know, the demand for ACs is high out there, so they just hired whoever nowadays to fill in roles. So they just walk off the job whenever they don't feel like working. And I don't think that's right. I think once you pay the amount, you gotta pay for the AC. Like once you install that much money, it should just work for like the rest of your lifetime. It's $4,000. You know, it's small. I'm buying a used car. And it's to keep the air cold. I think it should work. Like
it's been 120 degrees though.
You know what?
Close to 120.
We just need to find some other geographical space that is not Florida.
That part.
It's fucking hot.
That part.
It's the devil's butthole out here. Like we sweat to death and drive long distances just to go to fucking. And
it's like so bipolar that like it'll be like 100 degrees and you'll be like, oh, let me go jump in the pool, and then like it'll be like thunder. Like where do you think you're going?
But it's still hot.
No, it'll still be hot, but then like it'll be like lightning strikes and you'll be like, should I get in the pool? Like, you know what? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I went outside to go smoke a blunt the other day, and I swear to God, yo, like I seen a lightning strike that was so close that it made me put my blunt out. Like I was like, you know what? I don't need to die. Like, but then again, like I also had this trippy moment the other day where like there was 2 random dogs I was out on the loose while I was smoking my blunt.
It was probably those white ones that you saw.
Nah, I think it was like the neighbors, because it was like this like Scooby looking dog, like a brown one, and then like a small white one, and like they were just fucking roaming free, and like I had like been like smoking the blunt, right, and it's like they just popped up out of nowhere like cops, and the big Scooby Doo looking one was just like sideways, just had it tilts his head sideways and just looks at me like, I know you just not smoking out here smoking like that. And I'm just like,
streets at this time of night.
I was like, yo, whose fucking dog is this? Like, why is this dog out here in the loose just looking at me, judging me with those eyes? Like, yes, I'm gonna smoke this blunt, doggy. Like, the fuck's wrong with you? Go find your owner. Like, but motherfucker did not move. Like,
Was he big?
Yeah. And that's not the part that bothered me. But it was just like, I was like, is this a police dog? Because like, why is this dog so like hostile to me smoking weed? And so I was just like, no, let me just put this blunt out real quick and go inside.
He's like, go home, nigga. You don't want any streets.
But
just patrolling.
Yeah.
Yes. Speaking of police activity, you seen this?
I mean, I'm probably sure I have, but
I don't care about your profiling me.
So body cam footage.
Oh yeah, the Island Boys.
Getting arrested. Police responded to Amita Sobi, who claimed that the Island Boys slapped her and pushed her to a pool.
Y'all know who the Island Boys are, right?
Abusive behavior.
Rasha said she never called cops on me. Babe, why are they arresting me? Yeah, I know, but I didn't do nothing, bro. Bro, what allegation? Bro, I put this on God. I put this on God, bro. I did. I'm gonna pull my lawyer, I swear to God. You profiling me. Oh my dad, you profiling me.
Some bitches when they about to get arrested, yo.
After taking him in, you can see the police start laughing at him for trying to act hard.
But you was just crying a minute ago.
I put that on God. Oh, my dead daddy. His dead daddy rolled around in the grave. Like, nigga, stop bringing me up and shit, man. It got shit to do with
See
this.
how brown he is, though? Like, he over-tanned himself. That nigga is not that color, yeah. Like, it looks so weird.
That's what made me mad about him saying, like, I'm being profiled. Like, you don't get to say that, sir. Like, out of anyone, like, you don't pull that card. Like, I can't pull that card. Like, and I'm Puerto Rican, you know what I'm saying? But I also know that I'm light-skinned enough where, like, if police see me, they not like, like,
They should be.
That's besides the point. But for him to try to pull that shit and then sit there and cry like a little bitch and fucking, but I mean, like, this is the same dude that also, since I know you don't know him, got beat up by his girl on TikTok. You know what I mean? Because he smacked her up and then she beat his ass. So, like, it was, like, that has to be the worst. Like, because not only did you fuck up by, like, hitting this girl where publicly where the whole world can see this now, but then now you took the L because you got your ass whooped afterwards. So, now, like...
Video out. This is incriminating evidence. None of this that was said is actually true. These are untruthful depictions.
Yeah, I chopped this.
Allegations.
All right. Worker deletes thousands of files he created after finding out that the company that fired him for being incompetent is still using his work.
So this is one of those not all heroes wear cape stories. This guy worked for a company and he created a ton of video content for them and he asked for a raise. They then fired him. And they were using his cloud technology to store the video. So 3 years later, he looks and he sees that many people were still using like 18 of the videos that he made for them years and years ago. So he deletes them from his cloud and the company's like, what is going on?
Alright, so I have alright. So, number one, they can't use his cloud technology, you know, just speaking from a technology standpoint, because it's not his cloud. It's like his cloud server. So, but the cloud is like not something somebody owns. It's just computers in the universe. They're not actually there. They're just like virtual machines, if you will. So they're not real. This thing doesn't own all the not real computers. Everybody does. You can make one right now on Amazon. Just gotta pay per the data usage or whatever. So bullshit on that. But they could use his fucking videos if you work for them. He should have signed a better contract when he got hired. It's not like a salty ass nigga. Because they could delete it from his server, but they should have been more professional enough to have it on their own shit if they're gonna have people making content for them. That sounds like an unprofessional ass company.
I don't know.
That's my take on it. Like, the company sounds like it's bullshit because any real company would have had it on their server. Number one, they wouldn't be getting it from somebody else's shit. Like, that doesn't even sound right. That doesn't even sound like data security right. Like, why would I get anything from your computer? You could have a virus on your shit and you're uploading it to my company after you get fired. Like, that sounds crazy. So it doesn't sound like it doesn't sound like a professional company, number one. Number two, that nigga don't own the cloud. Like, you can't own the cloud, bitch. Like, I'm sorry. Unless your name's Amazon or Google, like, you don't have your own, and you can run your own cloud if you wanted to. Like, you can get a computer, make it be the server, have it be a cloud for your connection. Huh? The cloud is like whatever you want it to be. You could be storage, you could be computing power.
Well, you can share access though to it.
Share access to it. So like you can say, for instance, I want to run a cloud computer like system. Say I want to have Matt's cloud or whatever. I get a computer, I run the computer, and then I let the service be out like an open and like able to be configured from other people like out in the world. And
it's kind of like BitTorrents, essentially. Like in the sense that like you're pulling from someone else's shit and like compiling it on your end. But like, for example, like I think like they obviously fucked up because, for example, all right, if you're gonna fire that guy, then like don't have shit that depends on shit that he created.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? Like
if you were a professional company, you would have the shit stored on your, like, you would have, normally that kind of shit you submit, and then they're like, all right, cool, we're gonna store it internally on our servers because we're professional.
Or even then, after you fire the guy, just make some new videos. Have some, whoever you're replacing them with, have some new shit.
Him for a job, and he did said job, which is clearly what happened because otherwise he'd sue the fuck out of him. You can't just make him give up content for free. Like, that sounds like bullshit.
Well, I'm guessing he was like, it was like a salary position or somewhere. He was working at this company, and he
this
was,
nigga went too hard in the shit he got paid for. They abuse their power as companies fucking do. and he got screwed. And that's what happened. I mean,
but he screwed them back. You know what I mean? Like,
and they can't do shit about it because they should have been professional enough to kept the content that he contributed already.
But that's one thing I definitely believe in. If your boss screws you, you screw him back.
I mean, if you
like you don't.
I mean, like
no, I do because like I hate, like, for example, the power imbalance between the boss and the employee, especially when the boss abuses it and is like, oh, yo, I can hold this over your head because I'm the guy that. It's like, yo, you think that because of that you can just treat me like dirt and like I'm not a human being with my own individual feelings and needs and wants and concerns? Then like, nah, like I'm gonna return the same energy that you gave them, because these are the only rules that you play by. Like, you only play by these corporate rules. So it's like, cool, then we can do it. I could talk to you like a man and ask you these things. Or if you don't respect that, then we can talk about it on a corporate level, because that's the only thing you do respect. You know what I'm saying? Like, but in this case, you know what I mean? Like, this guy did the only thing that he could do to hurt them. Like, all right, cool. Y'all fucked me. Y'all ain't want to give me no raise? Bet.
He's like, seems like it says Johnny's cloud server on this. You don't have access anymore, bitch. You literally don't even have to, like, he can literally just revoke their access and be like, hey, you don't have permission to go to my cloud site anymore. And then they're asked out. Like, that's why I said, like, if you're doing professional work and you're paying him for a job, you should have had him submit the shit that you want to use, pay him for the job, store it on your server, because you're sharing it with your company. It's not his obligation anymore. And then you fire him, fine. He's like, all right, well, fuck you, you paid me. And they're like, well, fuck you, we got the content we paid for, and that's it. But if you didn't secure the content, bitch, that's your fault, nigga. You should have did that. He should have secured a better contract. You should have secured the fucking content. Everybody's fucked. So, like, that's the way I see it.
Yep.
So, speaking of fuck.
What's that?
Always seen that. I don't even think he really got
That was like
it.
the weakest elbow.
Yeah, he didn't really get him.
He ain't get good.
He got a little side elbow and he really,
That's if
But that still probably like hurts though. A
not
good.
even that. Like, that's so stupid to do it in a courtroom. Like,
And he got convicted of a
Well-
double homicide. Like, that's just adding more. If you had,
Well, I mean, since he got sentenced to death, right?
I mean, I don't know. It didn't tell you. It just,
Before being sentenced to death.
oh yeah, well damn yeah. I guess.
But if he's already fucked, you know what I'm saying? He's like,
that
yo.
was before he was sentenced to death. He elbowed that lawyer. No.
No, yeah, because he elbowed him. Well, no, yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
but I'm saying
homicide,
when you get sentenced to death, though, you've already been found guilty, right?
Before being
Yeah,
sentenced.
you know you're gonna get the death penalty.
Yeah, so most likely it was like, you did a shitty job, bro. Like, I trusted you was gonna get me out of this. I
Put
seen
my house
you.
up for this nigga. Take this boat, nigga.
Yeah, it was a little like that
He was no golf player.
like that guy in My Germs. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
but you know, it'd be kind of cool, and it's kind of fucked up. But like, what if they had like prison MMA that you could watch? Like, you would have like all like them buff like prison niggas like just like throwing bows and fucking, you know what I mean, haymakers and spinning heel kicks and
You
shit.
talking about prison
Like-
pay-per-view?
Yes, but you could like chip at their princess. Like if you win like championships and shit, like you can knock off like.
Well, oh, you mean like so you mean like some fucking fight like
Yes.
shit. We can like.
I'm saying in prison people end up fighting anyways and get stabbed and shit. Why not fucking have a league?
Plan for this, right? So you got to vacate one of the countries, but we can basically cordon off a certain part of land, and it could be like like every man for himself, but you could live like a king if you want to. You know what I'm saying? You could live in that
Games.
the area. It's some Hunger Games type shit.
It's too elitist and too dystopian. I just want a cage fight. That's it.
I
Like,
get that, right? But that's what they would get their freedom, but their freedom would be that. They would get out and be there. And then once like there'd be enough people there, obviously they're gonna fight each other and go, on some Hunger Games type shit. Or they're gonna be alright and they're gonna just be there. But you're gonna have to have a solution. You can't just let all these crazy maniac motherfuckers that have been beating people up on pay-per-view out into the regular population after the fact because the people.
Why not? They can get drafted straight into the UFC. The UFC is like, you know what? John Jones needs some competition. Let's get this motherfucker straight out the yard.
I know he raped 3 bitches last night, but did you see that elbow on Friday? You gotta let this thing out. But, all right, you know what? Just set him up for 4 fights when he gets in. We'll get him out in 2 years. We'll put him back on the pay-per-view. He'll be worth $200 million. Okay, we can do this over.
Hey, I'm just saying this would be some high-class entertainment.
Hell no, nigga. Nah, they will not go for this. Okay.
No, morally, this is wrong. We're like on the ethics and moral side of it.
It sounds
but like
it sounds like Julius Caesar in the Coliseum just in 2023. Just
yes, and it worked perfectly for them. Like, bro, you don't watch Game of Thrones and go, I miss this. Like, this is what we're supposed to be doing. Like,
this is like
fucking bashing brains and
reality
fucking
TV. Hell no, nigga. We're not going to that shit. I'll tell you that right now. Oh man, 2 things that people shouldn't have gone for. Tourists dies trying to drink all 21 cocktails on bar menu.
Fucking idiot.
It
yo,
doesn't
and
sound
that was when
like
Lewis
that.
was on vacation in Jamaica when that happened.
Really?
Yes, I was like, nigga, you better cut it down. I was like, I don't know what you doing, but some white boy just
His
died.
name's Timothy Southern. Of course, a dude named Timothy Southern. No disrespect.
Rest in peace to Timothy
Rest in peace
Southern.
to Timothy
Condolences to his family.
But yeah, it's a crazy name, and yeah, of course, it sounds like somebody that
21
would
cocktails.
die.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of alcohol.
Yeah, and
I wonder if
then
he ate in between or just like.
I mean, would it matter at that point? It would help, I guess.
and what if them chicks were like super strong too? Like they wasn't even playing with that boy. Like, you want to drink? Like,
And it's crazy because Leslie was saying that her drinks were weak as fuck.
really?
And that's what she was saying. I mean, they had it was all inclusive, so they paid for everything. So maybe that's why it was like light.
Yeah.
But she said all her drinks were like nothing.
Maybe that's why Joe Budden was saying that all inclusive drinks is poor people shit. But I don't know. Lately, like he's been on some shit where he's been like shitting on all like poor people, like Joe Budden. He's been like an elitist, you know what I mean? Which like, listen, man, I've been a fan of his for a minute. I understand that he's in a whole different tax bracket. You're making a whole other kind of money right now and all this other shit. But like, I also remember you running around in like a wife beater. Like,
Just the other day.
don't act like you did some up above us peasants now just because you know you on top of the world right now. Like that's, but you know what I mean. I don't know. I just
Things
like
not to do though. Drink all the
21 shots.
things not to do.
Sounds like dad. Fucking right before he.
I don't even think I've ever made it to
21.
10. I don't think I've made it to 10.
That's what 21's gonna do for you.
In the Navy days, I remember one time I drank like a fifth of Patron and I was like, you bugging.
No, I
Like
drink a
then.
lot. I drink a lot. My dad. I was 17. We drank a lot of alcohol before I left New York. When I was like 17 and a half. My whole family was there. I was drinking the whole night. I had a Grey Goose bottle that was like the size of my leg. Personal bottle of Hennessy that night before. Heineken, Kahlua, Coke 45, fucking everything. I was drunk out of my mind. Then I had to catch a flight at like 7:30.
That's crazy.
I think I left. I woke up at 5:30. I slept like 2 hours. Maybe I fell asleep at like 3 o'clock, 3:30 in the morning and shit. And I was like, after I puked, 'cause I got so fucking drunk. I got so drunk. And they were just like, yo, they were so drunk. I was like, people saying it was like a fucking DLC. Like you unlocked like a DLC in life and shit. Like everybody came there. It was so strange. It was like eight or 10 niggas like from around the block. Like they were there on a school day just to like see me go like to a different state and shit. Get drunk with me. My grandmother was there. She saw me get drunk. She like, cheered me on. It was weird. It was like a fever dream. And I'm like, okay, this is like not normal for a 17-year-old to get wasted. Like,
That reminds me of my Navy going away party when I got alcohol poisoning. Fucking, and Courtney almost took me to the hospital because fucking I got so wrecked that night. I tried to cheat on her that night. Like I was like,
This bitch trying to save your life. And you was like, let me prepare you with this.
No. Like, this is before that. Like, fucking, I was like, towing the fuck up, right? And like, I seen this one girl from work that I had wanted to hit, like, for a minute. This white girl that had these big ass titties. And I was like, I had been wanting to smash it. And I was like, fuck it. It's my last night before I go to the Navy. I was like, I'm gonna go for it. And I was like, yo, hold my drink, girl. And to my girlfriend. I was like,
she was in the room?
Oh yeah. Like, and like, I took her, and then, like, I remember I separated them. I separated them. I was like, yo, like, I left my girl like alone with some niggas or some shit. And then like I took the other girl to the bedroom, and like we just started like we were about to fuck. I remember, and then I just threw up. Like
on her?
Nah, like I literally got up and like I ran to the bathroom and I just started throwing up, and the girl was like, yo, what the fuck? And then she went out and then she got my girl.
Never mind, nigga.
Then,
I'm going home.
No, she went and got my girlfriend for me, like a fucking, like a true G. Yo. Like, she was like, yo, your man in there throwing up. What was you doing in there?
Let me get him out of here, bitch. I'll see you later, okay?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Nah.
That was a bad night. Ugh.
Well, speaking of things that make you sick, kids could end up in foster care over lunch debt. Pennsylvania school district warns parents. They are threatening to take children away from their families because their parents can't afford to pay off a school lunch debt. This country really, really hates poor people.
That's crazy.
It's like, nah, your kid's got 3 chocolate milks this week, bitch. Like, it's a wrap. You owe me $25, ho. We put him in foster care. You better give my $20.
I'm leaving this country because I was even watching like. In Asia, they give you like these like no.
Yeah, like I said, you don't realize how bad you have it here until you, like, for example, like when I was in the Navy and we traveled and went to like different places, like when I went to Bahrain, the government over there pays your car insurance. So the people out there drive like fucking idiots because they don't have to pay insurance. They don't go up or down, none of that shit. They don't have to worry about it. So they just drive like however the fuck they want.
I think this girl was in Korea or somewhere over there, and they paid for her like health insurance where she doesn't have to worry about health insurance. And they
can move to Canada. That's cool.
No, Canada. That's crazy.
Yeah, and that's why it makes me so mad.
And that shit is rigged because I remember we had to pay for lunch, but it wasn't much. It was $1.50.
Yeah, it wasn't
but
much.
we were in like well off. Like I think at the time, mom was the only one working, and dad wasn't even working, and we still had to pay lunch.
I never paid for lunch.
I did for a bit until Miss Class. Shout out. She rigged the paperwork to where we didn't have to pay. But
that's what's up, y'all. Shout out to that. But
I have no idea.
What's up?
Let's find out.
I once got dosed with a man's amount of testosterone on accident, and I start looking at my boss and my coworkers, and I'm like, oh my god, why do I want to do things with my coworkers? Like, this is making no sense. And I'm like, what is wrong with me? I go in the bathroom, I'm just like looking at it, I'm just like put my hands on the countertop, and I'm like, look in the mirror, I'm like, Molly, what's wrong with you? And I was like, oh, testosterone. Oh shit. Oh my god, I've got a man's amount of testosterone in me today. This is wild.
That's your one left to talking about.
Mom.
How'd she get a hold of that?
Actually, her doctor accidentally prescribed her everything. But what do you guys think about that? Like, about the fact that women don't have a male's level of testosterone on a daily basis?
Sense.
Well, I know. So, like...
And men don't have a woman's level of estrogen. So.
But did you... Just like that dose for just that day, how it altered her perspective of just even her coworkers. Like where she was saying, yo, I wanted to fuck my boss and my coworkers. Like something that she hadn't even like thought about before. But just because she had that testosterone running through her system, these are the kinds of things that was in her mind. Then imagine what men must feel like.
See, but I feel like she got a taste of it like this, where you guys, you work up to that point to where I don't know what the regular dosage is for men to have in their body, but you know, you work up to that dosage. It seems like females, like they work up to that.
I don't know, but I know supposedly, right? Like males like in their 20s and 30s nowadays, now their testosterone is starting to lower compared to what it was back in the days. And supposedly, like as you get, the older you get, you stop producing as much of it, like and see less and less and less and less. But I know, speaking for myself, my shit is on. My shit is rampant because I want to fuck all the time. Yeah, like from not all women, obviously.
Not all men. I'm saying not all men have that.
No, but I think most men have a healthy level of testosterone, and I think like this is. I think most guys like it's just something that they have to deal with on regular, that they just don't never put a second thought on. The fact that the dick is always like, yo, and they just have to deal with it because you have to go to work, you have to make money. You can't fuck so-and-so. You can't fuck so-and-so because of who she is or blah, 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 blah. So these are things that we, despite what we may internally feel, we suppress. You know what I'm saying? It may come out in other forms, like in porn and what you, like the categories you watch and whatnot. Like if people started breaking that down, like what's the most watched categories in the world and all this other shit, that would give you a lot of insight into men and what kind of, you know.
I guarantee you with some weird shit. Let's find out. The most watched what? The most watched
category in porn.
Category in porn. What are we voting for? Before we hit enter, what are we voting for?
No, I'm not.
I'm voting for like Japanese anime titties or some crazy anime shit.
Nah, I think it's under like either the stepmommy, stepsis, or stepdaughter category.
Right, so we got step something. I got anime titties.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anything? Then we're just gonna keep trying. Alright, so let's hit the button. Let's see. Most pop. It's 2021, right? Or no, 2022. Let's see. All right. Texas, you should be ashamed. Oh wait, nope. What? Okay. Now you're gonna cock block me. I want your mama. She's trying to make me agree to these things that I don't want to agree to. All right, cool. Now we're on. Sorry, I can zoom in real quick. Oh! I fucking knew it. I was close. All right. Lesbian was the most searched term across the Frisky 50, with hentai, a type of Japanese anime following classified. I fucking knew it, goddammit! The terms blowjob, cosplay, and trans are also considered growth in 2022, while transgender exploded in popularity to become America's 4th most viewed category overall.
Crazy.
Everybody's like, don't say gay, but let's type it in Pornhub. We're typing it in, goddamn. That was 25.
These trans sticks.
20. That's basically 1/4 of the searches are for transgender. That was an interesting term. This was the unplanned.
Yeah, no lie, I did watch a trans porn the other day. Yeah, but she was. I mean, it was a trans girl fucking a girl.
The kinky category, it went up 75%. So people got kinkier. What if we found out that kinkiness was a result of the COVID-19 virus? Like they just want to make us all hornier. Like the testosterone levels are going too low. Make them stay inside and fuck each other. Give them money. Don't let them leave. Work. Fuck work. They get 5 days off if they get sick. Let them post it on Facebook so they can tell their friends and they can all be off. Just when they're running out of money, let's give them more money so they can keep on fucking each other.
I wish they would have gave me more money. They told me I was essential. I had to go to motherfucking work while everyone else was fucking on extended vacays and shit.
But before we went off on the tangent about testosterone, we were talking about what testosterone could make someone do, right? Mm-hmm. So this is what I think it could make you do. I don't know.
Trying to rob me for my money or my things, but he really took my sense of safety in my own house.
An Indianapolis woman is robbed at gunpoint while getting her mail, but the story doesn't end there. The suspect in this case followed up with her in a very unusual way. It's a story you'll only see on WRTV. Adam Shum spoke to the victim, who shares a warning for other women.
I think that especially as a young female, it's
I'm
something
sorry.
that you always think about, but you never think that it's going to happen to you.
For Amber Braun, it's still hard to wrap her mind around what happened late last month.
I had a man come up to me and try to rob me at gunpoint after I had got off work late one night.
Braun was checking her mail after work when court records show a man walked up to her with a gun.
He took it out of his pocket and showed me. He's like, to show me this is what's going on. Let me into your house. I did not do that.
Braun says she gave the man, Damian Boyce, roughly $100 in cash.
He really did try to rob me for my money or my things, but he really took my sense of safety in my own house.
This isn't where the story ends. Boyce got the money, but that's not all he appeared to be after. Court documents state Boyce then pointed his gun at her and told her to add him on Facebook.
He believed and he did.
Court documents show
Like a funnel, bitch!
that's not where the exchange ends. Instead, the DMs started flowing. Court documents show Facebook
Hey,
messages.
yo, Sugar, I'm gonna cash out you that $100 I took from you real quick.
He said he's gonna pay her back, then told her she was too pretty to rob.
My bad for
He
that.
continued to message me on Facebook the next day.
He then made his move, asking her to come chill.
I just can't understand the thought process of somebody.
Those are replaceable with your life is now.
Police say robberies
It's like no
are a crime
thought
of
process.
opportunity, meaning suspects will look for easy
That dick
targets.
was rushing with blood.
Be vigilant. I mean, what that looks like is being aware of your surroundings, not walking alone at night.
Braun says she just doesn't want this to happen to anyone else.
It puts me on edge knowing that there are people who walk up and down the street maybe looking for places to commit crimes, and you know, it just makes it a little different when you hear a noise at night.
In Indianapolis.
Yeah, that's crazy.
This nigga definitely sent her a message after he saw that video. Like, bitch, you put me on, dude.
I mean,
I thought we were friends. I told you I was gonna pay you back. What the fuck?
that shit was the stupidest thing you could do. To like add me on Facebook, like she ain't gonna turn around and call the cops and be like, "This nigga did it." Like,
Meet him at this address. This nigga
But-
clearly thinks I'm interested. I am not. He took my goddamn money. I was just about to get some gas.
I wonder, like, I mean, she looked alright looking and shit, but I mean, I wonder how nice the body was for, like, to have him, bro, that like out of it, where he's like, damn,
It's like, give me
nah,
oh,
yeah,
God damn, baby.
fuck this $100, like,
Give me just
what's up with
whatever in
you?
the purse. Let me in. Fuck you, nigga. I ain't letting you in. All right, just give me some money real quick. I'll come back with it. Add me on Facebook, bitch. I ain't playing with you. Okay, I'll leave. Goodbye. I'll see you later. Like,
He
subscribe,
probably
follow.
stood there as she accepted.
Oh yeah, he didn't move from the spot.
Weird.
Oh my god.
That's so weird.
But I'm assuming that it's like a fake name because like they didn't follow up with any. Oh, you know, this is what happened with the set. So.
That's
All right.
crazy. Where was that at?
They didn't.
Somewhere in the world.
It's probably in Florida. Chances are it's almost guaranteed that it was out here. All right. Woman that transitioned to a man cries in regret because she says being a man is too lonely and she misses how easy it was for her to make friendships as a woman.
Wasn't there a similar story?
I mean, yeah,
The
that's-
trans woman that committed suicide.
It's a trans.
Lonely. Being a man is. I had closer friendships with random women I met in the bathroom before I transitioned at clubs because of
Now,
open women
because he's trans.
than I had in my 8 years of transitioning. Because women are just so much more vulnerable and deep than men. But to have known, and I think a lot of trans men feel this, is we knew what that felt like before we transitioned. We knew what it felt like to like have people want to hug us. And to have people want to talk to us. And have a community. And then you transition and you're just a guy walking down the street that people cross the street so that they're not near you. And friendships are so much harder to build and people are colder. And what's hard is nobody told me how.
So what do you think about that?
I mean, it's sad. It is sad. But I'll be the first to say it. You switch sides and complain, nigga. You already knew. You should have looked up, researched this shit before you came over to the dark side, nigga. We didn't have to tell you how bad it was to be a man. You know what I'm saying?
We've been saying how bad it is, and nobody's been listening.
You've been saying, and nobody gives a fuck. They're like, all right, like you a bitch, you complain about it. You know what I'm saying? It's part of being a man. So it's just like in the same way when you try to switch up to be a woman, you're like, oh, it's even worse for, I guess, women feel more offended because you can't. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're a dude and you try to be a woman to like fullest extent, I get it. Like that's cool for you, but like you could never be a woman. You know what I'm saying? Like in its traditional sense, you miss out a good portion of that part of being a woman. So it's like, I don't know. Like every trans woman is a woman, but nah. If the world's over and we need a man and a woman, we can't play these fucking games anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like on that level, as far as like biologically, you could be whoever the fuck you want to be. It's fine, but like in reality, like if there was nothing left, in reality, like if you need to reproduce and that's your only way of living, and that's every species
in the old world,
in the whole fucking galaxy and universe, the world, everything we know to be a thing. You need to procreate, and if you have a world of.
But do you really want to start off with the trans though? Like if it was just two people left in the world and you had to rebuild humanity, would you really want to start off with a trans?
Who's saying we could be selective? What if a fucking asteroid comes and leaves like 500 niggas here? Would you want the whole room to be full of trans people? Because then that's the end, nigga. That's what the end sounds like. It's over then. There's no,
I don't know.
There's no restart, continue button after that. Like if everybody's trans, cool. Like it's fine, do your thing. But at the end, you can't.
It's not so much that I'm worried about everybody being trans. If we have like a trans atom, but what would bother me more is like because they're trans. Like I think like they would have like genetically they're not the like a male like how they're supposed to be because they've transitioned. So they wouldn't be able to have like offspring that were like, healthy children probably because, what they were transitioning and whatever.
But when you transition, that doesn't change whether they or not. You could have sperm in you. You know what I'm saying? And transition in our sense in 2023 is not what it could potentially be in the future. Like maybe they can literally transition you and make you into that exact sex that you want to be. Like,
but I'm saying like right now though.
That's what I'm saying. Currently, where we're at, you transition, but your transition like 100, 200 years may look like you actually, literally, physiologically, fucking changing your structure where you can produce sperm. You know what I'm saying? Or you could have like a womb and carry. That's not unrealistic in the next 200 years or so.
No, and right now they're at the point where supposedly they've made uteruses for trans people now, so they can have
what happens.
But
right now where we stand.
That's why I'm saying like I think there's gonna be
transitional phase. To me, it's a physiological change. It's not actually.
I think we're gonna branch off, like deadass. I think like in fact, honestly, I think humanity's already branched off. Like when it comes to, and I know don't feel no way. You know what I'm saying? Like. But like when it comes to like that vaccine shit and all that stuff, like I think that's a whole like in a simple like yeah, because it's an mRNA shit. So like that shit is mRNA is attached to your DNA, which is the sequencing that makes us what we are. So like you start having some shit that tinkers with that. I think that puts you in a different category than anybody that was
only if you plan on having kids. You've had kids already before.
Well, people are, having kids. Like for example, Luca is, a vax baby. So like, we're gonna find out what he's gonna be like, and he's already different. You seem like that nigga is jumping like at 6 months and shit. Like that nigga is on a whole, and I've been hearing about this. Like I've been hearing and like people talking about like their babies, these newer babies coming out different. So
new babies built different, goddamn.
and not just that, but like you got like Elon Musk with the Neuralink and all this other shit.
Yeah,
you have
babies.
the transuters, like I think humanity is gonna split off into different like segments, and you're just gonna be able to see variations, like the same way we see like white people, and you can tell the difference between white people, Puerto Rican people, black people, and Asians. I think you'll be able to see the variations in all the different subsets of humanity, like in the next probably 20 years. Like
I think that we're gonna have babies getting programmed, like dead ass, not like not joking around, like some like Matrix type shit.
I wouldn't be surprised if they started like if they got lab babies,
AI, like giving like babies like actual babies, but like giving them like AI like type of like stimulation with like information and shit, like teaching them languages before they become full grown adults, so that they can like natively have it in the back of their brain and shit. I fully believe that they're going to do that for sure, like based on the path that Neuralink's on right now, and that they can read like conscious thoughts and like perceive what you're thinking already from your brainwaves. Like they're getting really close.
Well, not just that, but I assume that they're gonna go in like the Black Mirror trend, and they're gonna save their consciousness and start over in another body and load from
I think we're
that
going
checkpoint.
in that direction. Would you transition that way? Would you put your cyber conscious there, and then, like if you die, they can turn you on, and you could keep getting put your chip into another chip, into another chip, something like that. Just like a carbon.
That ruins the of life. Like for example, like right, like me. There's times, right, that like I wish that I can go back to high school, but with the mentality that I have now, because I have all these regrets where I'm like, damn, when I was in high school, I wasn't able to talk to girls like this. I wasn't able to do this, blah, 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 blah. I didn't chase after sports enough, or I didn't blah, blah, blah. Like if I could have gone back and done things differently, this is how I would have done it. And it's almost like an isekai, like an anime where you're like, you know, like you almost want that second do-over, like, but at the same time, if I did that, that would have cheapened that whole first experience of going through it the first time, and all the things that I learned, and even the falls and the lessons that I learned through failures and mistakes. I would have never made those mistakes because I'd have just been killing it. You know what I'm saying? I'd just been crushing it. So when you're batting 1,000, what the fuck is there to learn? Like what is there to do after you've done it all? You know what I mean? So, or learned it all. Like that's why I don't want. I know that we're in a like altered carbon. Like that's gonna be a thing. You know what I'm saying? But I want no parts of that. I would, even though I hate the idea of getting older and being all frail and sickly looking. That's still life. Like we live and we die from dirt to dust.
But what if they figure out, like legitimately figure out how to pluck out your consciousness?
But I mean, I think they can. Like
take out your soul. So like when your soul leaves one spot, it like literally ends up in like a chip. Like, and they can just put your soul wherever.
I think that's what they're doing right now, because the whole plan was by 2045 they had said that they wanted to be able to download consciousness into the net, so that there is nothing that would be able to restrict you. Like you would have no physical body to attach yourself to, and you would have infinite.
Like 5,000 years, it should be like super techie robot nigga. Cyberpunk 5065.
Plus, you wouldn't need to eat. Like it's like the movie Transcendence. You know what I'm saying? Where like. Yeah, like that's the plan. You know what I'm saying? So, but before you get to that point, you would still have to have the in between, which would be take your consciousness and put it into another vessel that isn't your own, and seeing if it would take to it, and then from there go into being able to store it into different, little libraries and shit of consciousnesses and whatnot.
Altered carbon type shit.
It's gonna happen. That's and I think that's why they push this technology onto us. Like even our phones, like we're inseparable from those fucking things now. Like I go into panic if I don't have my phone on me. If I leave it somewhere and I can't find it for a fucking second, like I literally start having anxiety attacks, because everything in my life and my whole like everything that I believe encapsulates me is in that fucking phone. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like to the idea of just that, having that gone for even like an hour, not being able to just know what's going on, and like it fucks me up, let alone like if imagine if like the Neuralink, the phone is in you. You know what I'm saying? You can like imagine like how good VRs are, right? But now you're the VR. You can just close your eyes and fucking go somewhere.
What if they like they can't figure out the consciousness shit, right? But they could figure out how to keep bringing you back to life. Like they put a chip in you that when you die, they can just go fix whatever's fucked up, and then like put your ass back alive.
And then living that same life over and over again.
No, like you just keep going until you deteriorate, but like they can keep waking you up. Like so, say you have a heart attack, right? And they have you have a neural link, and they're like, all right, we got a snapshot of his consciousness before he died. Let's pump his brain cells back up, give him his oxygen back in his brain and shit, fix whatever's wrong with him, put him back online. Like, would you do that? No, you wouldn't be on some vampire techno.
Nah, man. Like I said, like that. I understand it. I understand the pursuit of it because essentially it's
the GTA Ultimate Labs hack.
Well, somewhat, yeah.
Basically.
But like you have to realize it. Like I know that like I'm not the most religious guy, but I talk about my shit. You know what I'm saying? Blah blah blah, my beliefs. But that ties into it with me because, for example, right. Like the whole idea of science is to become God through knowledge. The more knowledge you obtain, the more God-like you become. That's you chase immortality as you do the things that you perceive a God to be able to do, right? Which goes back to the whole fallen angels, what they gave mankind. They said, "Yo, we give you this for this, tick for tat." Whether you go further than that to the Garden of Eve. You know what I'm saying? Like you have Eve and the devil, and this nigga's like, "Yo, here's this fruit." And
Twix, right? Twix.
Which one you want? But what did the fruit do? It gave her knowledge. That was what what caused her to get kicked out. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like we gain something, but we lose something always in these transactions. So it's like, yeah, you might gain immortality and you might become a god. But what are you gonna lose? Then it's gonna and it's always an equivalent, like it's an equivalent exchange. So if you gain all these great things, you're gonna lose. Like so, it's just I'd rather just be human, like and die human.
Speaking of gaining and losing.
If she got a nut, that's no business.
I don't think
that's
so.
personal.
But
she lied to you.
But the whole point on camera is to make it look like she did regardless,
Let me tell you something, no, bro. That and she handpicked this dude, and you're saying that this dude is like a high-profile dude.
Right.
The thought of her actually getting to do it with this dude.
Right.
She got a nut.
Well, I mean, we didn't have that conversation. I don't think
she's not. The fact that she didn't have a conversation lets you know.
He's the guy.
Yeah, it's like its own little personal puzzle, and I wouldn't say she's the easiest chick to make clash.
That's you.
I've made that.
So that's you.
Yeesh.
What do you guys think about the whole Adam 22 Cuck saga?
That's what he get. That's what he get.
Like you said, you give up some things. You get some things.
You give us something big, you lose something big. Like
he gave up his respect. She got some dick, but he lost something more than
no
respect.
coming back from that. Like there's nothing. There's gonna be insecurities with him in the bedroom. She's always gonna be comparing him to the other. That's
she hit her with she clapped her 3,000.
And not just that, but they just got married like a month ago.
Why do people? I feel like stuff like that, like when you go into these like adding stuff to a relationship like that, I feel like that should be done towards like not the end, but after you've been together for a minute to kind of spice things up. But you're just starting. Like I feel.
Well, they've been married for. I mean, they've been together for 7 years, and then they got married.
But that's
and also to their amateur porn couple. So like they're not your typical. You know what I mean? Like a couple.
This is the first time apparently that she got the cock in the hood.
Yeah.
But for me, it's like I could never be the cuck in that situation.
He was like
I could be I could be the bull.
I can't be.
But I couldn't be the cuck. Like I could never like you. That's some disrespectful ass shit.
I couldn't do it.
And look, for example, right? Like from what it seems like to me, it seems like she hounded him into it. Like because of all the threesomes that they had with other women.
You fuck all these bitches, so you gotta let me get one for the team.
And it's like and I said that before. I was like, when you have a threesome with your girlfriend, you open the door to something that
like
should not be. You know,
really just said it. You know, you give up something, you get something. It's just, he got a lot of bitches. He fucked a lot of bitches. She fucked big dick nigga.
1 month after the wedding.
He's never gonna forget.
That was after the wedding.
1 month after the wedding.
So he fucked his wife.
So and not just that, but it's because it was recorded. It's gonna go online. It's gonna be people are gonna be able to watch this and see this big hulking black guy with a monster cock just rearrange her fucking vagina like home decor. Like
put a new geographical location on her vagina.
That's crazy.
And then she's gonna come back to you like.
That's
and imagine he was like, "Oh, she's hard. She's not the easiest person. She sure as fuck ain't gonna be now, Adam, because that pussy is finna be fucking wrecked."
Even that part should say something. The fact that he found it hard to make her, yet this nigga comes and just like, yeah, that's gonna fuck up their whole relationship. I'll give them less than a year.
Hell yeah, yo. And one of the things, for example, right? I forgave one of my exes for cheating, right? That's the cuckiest I have ever been. Like, I could never be in a relationship with her and be like, yo, I'm gonna share her with another nigga. No. But she cheated on me and I forgave it. And the only fucking reason I forgave that bitch was because I cheated first. And I was like, had I not cheated all those times prior to, I would have been like, bitch, you a hoe and we done. But because of that, I was like, nigga, you gotta be able to stomach what you dished out. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, all right, I'll take that. And I'll stomach that. But even then, like, that was a hard pill to fucking swallow. Just like knowing that, like, because of how it all happened too, like, and I know if she ever watches, she'd probably be tight that I'm putting all this info out, but no one knows who it is, so it doesn't matter. Fucking, it was like 2 weeks after an abortion. So like, I'm sitting like, you bitch, you just killed my baby. Now you telling me we can't fuck for a couple weeks because you got healed after you done killed my baby. And then you tell me you fucking with some other nigga now. Like, I was just like, yo, like, you really laid it on thick, bitch. Like, I know I cheated, but goddamn. Like, you didn't know about it. Like, that shit wasn't like, like, I was, like, at least I'm a thoughtful cheater. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do my dirt, but you won't ever find out about it. Like, I'm not gonna make you feel insecure about yourself. Now, for example, when I told her I cheated, she made herself feel insecure about herself because she was always like, oh, well, who got the fatter ass? Or, well, who made you, you know what I mean? So, like, now that she saw what she was comparing herself to, now she's running, you know, the diagnosis in her head and shit. But for me, it's like, yo, like, I could never be in a situation where, like, I'm sitting down, like, or even laying in a bed, and my girl is getting her cheeks just clapped out right next to me. Yeah. Or down, I can't even be downstairs and hear that shit. Like, bitch.
He was in the house?
I don't know, but what I do know is, like,
we haven't talked about it, so I'm assuming he wasn't in the room.
If you're gonna cheat on me and fuck some other dude, I better just never find out about it. Just take that shit to the grave. I don't care how much it kills your fucking conscience. You did that shit, you eat that shit. Like, but don't.
But it wasn't cheating in their case because it's.
No, because it's yeah. Hence what I'm saying. I'm like, couldn't be me. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I just couldn't. I couldn't hear the noises that bitch make with another nigga without that shit infuriating me. Like, imagine, like, if this bitch starts, like, fucking belting out some fucking tones, like, that she don't make when you in her. You know what I'm saying? Like, and now all of a sudden, like, this nigga got her hitting fucking, You know what I'm saying? Like,
singing gospel music and shit.
Or what if like she starts squirting and she don't squirt with you, but she's squirting with this nigga?
Come for him, so.
Well, he said she's not the easiest to make come. Like, so maybe he's batting like 1 for 3 or something. You know what I mean?
Not being able to do something.
Again, you know, now there's gonna be some income coming from your side. I have income coming, obviously.
Yeah.
What does that tell you? Now we can actually move out. Less headache. I won't be the one doing a lot of work.
Then I'd be stressing if I had to contribute to rent or something with my
Why would you be
first
stressing?
job. If you're asking me to pay for rent, that's like something that comes out of a broke man's mouth. So
Wow, man, you got some weird, crazy expectations. My mom likes to see like a team work. All the women in my family, they all work.
why are you comparing me to a woman in your family?
I always expect more, I guess, I don't know.
Okay, expect them more from me too.
Oh, okay. My mom's a hard-ass worker. She's never believed in just staying home all day or even just to retire. I want to be like that. A joint effort, not just one-sided.
It's not a job that I see myself in like forever.
I mean, I need
I'm a woman.
And
Women shouldn't work.
Oh my god.
women shouldn't work? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that?
Wow, all right.
I definitely think a woman's place is in the home. She deserves to be treated like a queen. When my mom first came to America, she was a stay-at-home mom, and it was just nice having her at home taking care of me and my brother.
Don't you want to have your own life, like as in your own thing going on? You don't want
Why, when you can just depend on your significant other? I'm not saying I want to be home like raising kids. I'm not ready for that. I'm okay with the 2 dogs.
So you're good with him paying for your shit, but you're not good with staying at home.
I don't have kids, but I have 2 dogs, and they're equivalent to having kids. My dog has, stomach issues. My other dog has arthritis, and it's a lot of.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
She been packing.
Because even like Matt, like me and Matt, like Matt will go out to eat and Matt will want to pay for something. Like nah. Like I don't feel comfortable with doing that, and I feel like if let's say this doesn't work, or we'll go to the extreme that he's abusive, how are you gonna get out of the relationship? You have no money. You have nothing. You don't have an escape, and not that you should go into a relationship, thinking of a backup plan, but you should always.
That will be one of our topics later on, I think. But
that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
No, I mean, so for me, right, I want to be fair to this chick. Clearly, she's the daughter of an immigrant who, like she said, her mother was a stay-at-home, wife, and she was taken care of. So I feel like she's remembering back when America was great. She was like back when it was a 1-income household. Father went out to work, mom stayed at home. That 1 income was enough to supply for a house, 2 cars, vacations, fucking all the things that people used to do with 1 income before we turned into a 2-income fucking 3-income nightmare that we're in right now. Right now, with the way things are, no, bitch, you need to contribute. Now, I'm not going to say, like, for example, if you're the man, like, sure, if you want to provide more than the half because you want to just to assert your manliness and be like, yo, I'm the man, I got this, I run this, you know what I mean, type of shit, yeah, do what you do. But for women to even think that they don't even have to contribute at all, like, oh, you just sound like on some broke boy shit. Like, no, you sound like a broke bitch. Like, you sound, and it's like, honestly, I don't even accept that kind of talk from a bitch that's not fine. Like, you have to be super fine to even talk to me like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, where I'm even going to, like, even...
It's like, you ugly bitch, don't talk to me like that.
Well, I'm just saying.
Ugly bitch, don't talk to me like that.
Like, for example, and I know this is rude to say, but, like, when I was coming up, ugly bitches knew they was ugly bitches. You know what I'm saying? But, like... But nah, it's like now.
Got you ugly bitch.
Right? Because body shaming and all these other labels that they have, like, for example, right? It's perfectly okay to make fun of men's physical looks. Like, we remember that ugly dude that we talked about, like, I think in our first podcast. They still roasting him to this day for being with that hot chick. You know what I'm saying? But on the other hand, if we're talking about like, I don't know, I'm trying to think of a fat girl besides Lizzo, because she's been, well, not dragged enough, but you know what I mean? Like, because ain't no dragging that bitch, but you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, that's terrible.
but somebody that's fat, you know what I'm saying? Like, you talk about them being fat, and it's like, no, you're fat phobic. You're fucking, you know, all these other things. So it's like, I feel like, right, that we're in a society of illusion where it's like you could physically look at a person and be like, that person's fucking fat, and they'll look at you and be like, I am not obese. I identify as a little big boned. That's normal. Everyone's big boned. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could look at someone that looks like a fucking man, got stubble on, and they're gonna look at you and be like, my name is Chloe. I'm a woman. And you're just like,
deal with it, nigga.
But that's the type of like coddling that we're kind of used to now. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It's just I'm not into that shit. Like, for example, that chick, she's not hot enough to be talking like. Of course. But I think that my tastes are pretty standard because niggas seem to love the bitches that I love. You know what I'm saying? So I
don't think being pretty should be a pass for you not contributing as well.
It's not. It's not.
Oh, you're pretty, so you don't have to pay, or you're ugly, so you do. Like, that's not.
Now you're speaking of a fair world and a perfect world. Yeah, no shit. In a perfect world, people would love fat women and pretty women equally, but we're not in a perfect.
About financially. Like,
I'm talking about period. Like financially speaking, we have women who are, let's say, fucking Bad Baby turns 18, she can make a fucking $1 million in what, a month it was, off her OnlyFans. Why? Because she looks how the fuck she looks. Now if that,
so you would be okay with dating somebody who was hot and was lazy as fuck, didn't want to work, didn't want to.
No, but I expect it because certain shit comes with certain bitches.
The way you view relationship, that can only last for so long, my nigga.
I know.
Like,
just like I said, being the hot girl, you would only want her for that nut and get the fuck out of there. At least for me,
like,
I wouldn't want to get into a.
Lose me is where, like, I can see what you're saying, that it's expected. It's expected for someone who looks a certain way to perceive that they're entitled to live a certain way. I can see that, but like where you're losing me is where, like, at least the way I'm receiving it is that it's okay. It's okay that if you look that fucking good, that you behave that fucking way. Where I feel like, yes, there are females and males that look a certain way that feel entitled to have a certain lifestyle. Yes, but I don't think that it's okay, and I'm not. You know,
it's not that I think it's okay. I just think I think that men tolerate certain shit to get the box. That's it. I've put up with a lot of shit from a lot of women to get to the box. So I know that, for example,
but this is a relationship. Like, we're kind of deviating from what.
No, because we're broadening the conversation. But what I'm saying is that I'm setting the flip. It's not
different
because
if you're just saying that you're in it to like tap and go, then that's not a real relationship. It's different than what they're
that's me though, because I'm not that guy. I've already had mad bad bitches. So a chick being a bad bitch isn't enough for me to be like, I'm gonna settle down and I'm gonna financially support her. I'm saying she wasn't even
a bad bitch to begin with.
So I would have never entertained this conversation with her. That's what I'm saying, right? Yeah. But at the same time, what I'm saying is that, like, right, I could see that conversation coming from another woman's mouth because I've heard it from other women. Oh, I'm not gonna pay the bills.
Oh, well, then
I'm
say
not,
it like that. Say it like that, because then I feel like. But I agree. Like, certain people do feel like entitled to
and
certain things.
Yeah, there are women out there that feel entitled because they're so pretty. I don't have to contribute. The only thing I have to contribute is the box, right? That's how they feel. And if that's how you feel, that's how you feel, right? Just like again, on the flip side, there are bum ass dudes out there playing the PS5, not doing shit, but laying down some great pipe on this chick who's absolutely gonna be okay with going to work, maintaining this bum ass until she gets to the point where she fucking gets tired and is like, yo, fuck that shit. Why am I doing this when I can get good dick and a dude that does all these, checks off all these other boxes and whatnot. But I'm just saying that, like, that, and for me, because of the kind of person I am and my preferences, I would just have shut that shit down and be like, yo, this ain't even there is no girl right now that in a long-term relationship I would be able to put up with and provide for and make her feel like, yo, I don't gotta do shit but give me the box. You lost your mind in 2023. Again, in a 2-income household, there is not a single female on earth that warrants that from me. But there are some women that are pretty enough where they're gonna warrant me putting up with some bullshit to get to the box and then getting the fuck out of there because some other dumbass nigga like that nigga is gonna be perfectly okay with paying for them bitches, taking care of and maintaining them. And I know that I could probably still fuck that bitch while she with that nigga.
I might need to know who JoJo is.
It's a gay anime.
Oh.
I mean, maybe gay anime is a bit of a...
It's not gay. They're very metro in that anime, but they do fight and shit.
But they also do be doing gay shit, though.
I haven't watched it that far.
From what I've seen in certain clips,
it's called JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, so I expect...
Just imagine some gay-looking dudes doing gay shit sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah.
But anyways, I don't watch it, right? But what it astounds me is the power of anime. The fact that, like, there's a fucking riot going on in France. It's a whole revolution. People are burning down buildings, tearing down stores, looting, all this shit. And there's just some nigga on a saxophone who finds the perfect fucking theme song from some goddamn anime that these motherfuckers probably don't even know about. And he's just busting that shit. Shit gets clipped and anime viewers worldwide see it and go, yo, that's awesome. Like, that is the power of anime. The fact that it can transition across international, borders through different mediums of entertainment. Like, that's fucking dope. Like JoJo, it's inspired a lot of newer shit. Even like some of the fashion for some shows and some people like that, because it's very fashion heavy. You know what I mean? Like the outfits and the people in the anime or whatnot. But again, it's like Dragon Ball Z. When Dragon Ball Z, like how it changed just fighting anime, or even like Kids Saturday mornings.
Jogger sweats. I
like
those Kakarot boots. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted. I wanted the pants and the tank top, nigga. Don't get mad. I almost got the shoulder pads.
Did you really?
Nah.
No, yeah.
So interesting. What we were just talking about, somebody else. I
got a bank statement in the mail with an account that I don't know nothing about.
First of all, don't come in here yelling at me about no account. I have an account to make sure I'm good. That's why the account is there.
Why are you taking money out of account while I don't know?
You are my husband. I have to make sure I'm good. I'm not. If we were to ever get divorced, I'm not about to be out here for nothing.
We gotta make sure we good. This don't got nothing to do with you sitting taking money out of account. What I work hard for.
Do you not work for us? Are we not a family?
Yeah, I don't like the way she did it. Like, she took money that from his bank account and put it in her bank account.
Yeah, a joint account. What they had.
I need to be okay. What's the problem?
Is she contributing to this joint bank account?
She is. She's contributing. But it's still also part of his money that she's putting out.
I think it would all depend on how much she's taking out.
Well, enough that he's noticing.
It was 20 grand.
Are you serious?
Everything you done for me.
But I do believe you should have, not that you, and it's a sad way to go into a relationship to plan for a plan B. But you never know, man. You never know. I mean, God forbid you pass away, and then like what happens? Like it's a lot to.
No, I mean definitely, but this is not that.
No. That's what I'm saying. I'm not speaking like that.
This is is a woman who went behind her husband back to
stole his money.
20K.
She stole his money.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, for her to sit there and say, like, yo, if things go bad and we break up, I need to make sure I'm good. That's fucked up. It's like, I get when people break up, you know, people gotta make sure
that's usually how it goes.
But when
you don't break up typically in good terms. So it's like, yeah, you gotta.
I get that, but for me, it's the woman's perspective in this, right? Where she's saying, yo, if we break up, I need to make sure I'm good. So I'm gonna take your money to make sure that I'm good. Should shit break up? But what about him? Who's gonna make sure that he's good now that this bitch took all the out of his account?
There needs to be. I feel like that. Damn, you be getting too.
Because you're not following what I'm trying to say.
There needs to be more context to that video. Like, you don't know if that was years of them having money and she's taking 20 grand is rightfully what is owed to her.
Like, you letter in the mail about a secret account. That's the shit that started there. And I'm like, well, after that, she's pretty much fucked wrong for what she could have talked to him about it. Told him, like, hey, look, I'm taking my mutual amount out. Like, sorry, like.
Or even, for example, if you want to sit there and say, yo, let's take out a certain amount so that should we break up,
I mean, even if she did,
we could split it.
If it was her money,
but I'm saying it was from the joint account.
But if it was all hers that she contributed, regardless of if it's joint or not, hey, look, it's a joint account for that reason. She has the ability to take the money out clearly because she did, right? And then she had her own account. Maybe she was like, hey, I don't want to do the joint one. I don't want to tell him and take my money out. I'm sure he can't be going in there flipping out. Like, I wouldn't be able to be like, yo, I only contributed $500. You contributed $20,000. You go in one day, oh, your $20,000 is gone, and I'm gonna be like, yo, what the fuck? But you didn't take my money. You know what I'm saying? Not really my money. If we're saying it's mutually our money and we're gonna make decisions based on that money, that's a whole different thing. Like, that's our pot of money. You're not supposed to fuck with it. We said we wouldn't, and you would make it in a way that we can both contribute. But if somebody wants to take out, we have to sign off on it. You know, you can make it that way so that, look, it's very honest and open. Nobody can be on some stupid shit like that, like, no matter what, how their relationship went or turned out. But to go and be like, hey, I'm going to take out mutually what we both contributed, what it seems like it's more than what she put in. You know, it's mutual.
And again, and that's
not okay.
The secondary part of the problem.
You basically robbed that nigga because y'all are married. And didn't contribute it back, and then you lied to him and hid the account, and then put the account away. It was like, well, if we don't work out, like, but you could have had that discussion if we didn't work out. Like, you could have put that money to the side if you felt like, you know. But it sounded like she was about to leave it back.
But it's so hard because, like, even my best friend had to do, like, there's so many variables. Like, she was in a, you don't know what situation this female's in, but she was in a tough situation where her husband wasn't. It got to the point where it wasn't secure for her and her kids, to where she had to do that. She had to, you know, secretly develop an account where she was putting money aside so she could eventually leave him. You know what I mean? So, like, I mean, it does seem like she.
Yeah, hers seems like
20 grand is a lot. 20 grand is a lot.
Just in case, like, in case what though? Like, you know, put a down payment on a house. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, 20 grand is a lot. It's excessive.
Yeah. Speaking of excessive.
So this happened this weekend. Janelle Monáe hopped on the stage and she showed off her breasts, which she's been doing a lot lately. For some reason, she found something about herself that she loves and she is showing it off. At the same festival this past weekend, Megan Thee Stallion did what she do. She hopped on that stage and she twerked it for the world, and they took pictures and videos, and it was all over the internet. The lovely Miss India.Arie performed at the same festival, and she would later go on social media and talk about how the ladies shouldn't have to display their bodies on stage. And social media went crazy. They said she was washed up, miserable. She should let the young girls do what the young girls do. But people, you are dead wrong. We have to protect our women. If we don't do it, who will? We cannot continue to disrespect our women and ask for anybody else to respect them. And that's real life.
You going silent?
How you feel about that?
That's women shit. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna.
He said that's women shit.
I'm not gonna speak on how women should dress or perform or whatever the fuck. That's for them to settle
we were just
up.
talking about people getting dick down. You know,
Yeah.
performing some oralocopy on people. But hey, I mean,
I feel like if Megan Thee Stallion doesn't feel disrespected by what she's wearing, I don't feel like anybody else should. Like,
I think they do what sells. I think that's all it is. They do what sells. She won a controversy. Everybody's staring at the booby down. She probably sold more records. Like, hey, that's probably the whole purpose.
yeah, as long as she doesn't feel disrespected, ain't nobody else. Just that's
That's what she want to do. That's what she want to do. She was selling records. I want to sell them records too. If I'm getting paid for it. They tell me, hey, whip out your nipple with a little pasty on it. Fuck it. I got views, right? Right.
I mean, it works.
Yeah, and Megan Thee Stallion been shaking ass at every single show she does since she's been out.
Yeah.
I don't remember her not shaking ass. That's what she's famous for. You know, me personally, she looks kind of weird in the face, but that's just my opinion. All right.
That all the science data, the telemetry data was missing. Now, Geraldo, for NASA to come out and say that all the tapes were erased, I mean, it's incredible. Geraldo, this isn't just one tape. This is reams of tape labeled Apollo 11 moon landing. Someone had to physically go and erase it. And it just, I really, in my heart, Geraldo, I want us to go. And I know all your viewers want us to go.
We're also joined in LA by Big Guy, the science guy. Bill, Aaron's right about erasing these tapes. I mean,
Okay, it's my turn, kids. Okay. So, what happened, these were NASA tapes, and I got lost. Stuff happens.
Okay. It's very challenging to try to prove we landed on the moon, and it shouldn't be challenging. The tape should be there. There should be plenty of evidence.
Is that like a set?
Get that. That's forward. Once more,
Potentially.
Well, I mean, the word NASA is to deceive in Hebrew. So, what do you? Yeah, it means to deceive. So, I mean, I've been saying it 1,000 times. You know what I mean? I don't really need to regurgitate too much of it, but we know what NASA does. They make movies. You know what I mean? With trillions of dollars that we funnel to them. So, this is just another one of those moon landers. You could clearly see what they did to shoot it. How they changed the filter of the lighting so that it would look out the way it did. Meanwhile, they're telling people that they lost all the technology to go back to the moon. They lost all the tapes. They lost, everything. But yet, they have it. We have the tapes are here. We don't. It's ridiculous to say that we lost the technology to go to the moon when we're more technologically advanced than ever before. So again, NASA is to deceive in Hebrew. And the guy who started it was a Nazi. So, you know, I'm sure he would know some Hebrew.
I mean,
you know what I mean?
Hebrew some people.
But I'm just pointing out exactly like how I see it. You know what I mean? Like, because it's people don't understand those things about NASA. The fact that a Nazi founded it.
Yeah, I didn't know that too. You just said that.
But that's what I mean. You know what I mean?
Nazi scientists that work on engines.
Yeah, but von Braun was the head guy of that founded NASA, and he was Hitler's right-hand man. Like,
well, then
that,
we know he knows how to set shit on fire. What's the
God.
problem? He got the best engines possible. What you mean? He got the best man for the job.
Human combustible.
Unpopular
Like,
opinion. He knew how to set people on fire, so he can set the atmosphere on fire. He got us to the moon, didn't he? Didn't we?
Wink, wink.
Wink, wink.
Who knows?
I mean, they got shit out there. You know what I'm saying? I think they got telescopes and shit out there. You know what I'm saying? I think it's actually legitimate, but I don't know.
Oh, also, yeah. If you should look at von Braun's gravestone. It has.
He said, "Fuck the Jews" on the back.
No. It's
friends all business with the back says "fuck the Jews."
It has a biblical text on it, a specific Bible verse that it tells you to go to. When you go to, no.
I'm sorry.
You got any more Holocaust jokes you want to get off?
My brain's toasted right now. So.
All right, so like back to the serious shit.
Yeah.
Fucking, there's a text on there that points you to a specific Bible verse. When you go to the Bible verse, it talks about the firmament. So again, the head Nazi who founded NASA, who supposedly sent rockets to the moon because we can supposedly go out to space, has a gravestone that tells us that the firmament exists. So again, we can.
That nigga's dead, so I can't ask him.
No, you can't ask him.
And somebody can just put
but
right, like fuck this Nazi motherfucker.
No, but that's like the same way with Neil Armstrong, where with the other what was it, the astronaut that died, where like right before he died, he was like, oh yeah, no, we faked that shit, blah 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 blah, this and that. Like, I don't know. I just been saying somebody should examine what NASA does and where that money goes, because
it's hard to.
No, it is. It definitely is. But like when you can sit there and carry that, when we don't even know for sure if we've been to the moon in 2023, that's just bad enough for me. That's like 50, 70 years of money just going down the toilet.
We're supposed to go back. We're gonna get a 4K reenact video. I'm telling you, it's gonna be fire. We'll see what happens.
I guess so.
I guess. What's up with this raw ass chicken?
Can someone tell me what this is? Look at it. Can you see that? It is so stringy. This is raw chicken thighs. Raw.
Ew,
I took them out. Was getting ready to, I was seasoning them, oiling them, getting ready to cook them. And as I'm massaging them, you know, getting the seasoning up under the skin. And when I looked under this skin, look at this. Why is that so white and so stringy like this? It's stringy. This is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. I'm so
Well, that's what I thought it was. Like, she said she was seasoning
this is
it.
so weird. Y'all see this? How stringy. And it feels weird. What is that?
Chicken head of
Yeah, that looks gross. I wouldn't eat that.
So what did we talk about last pod?
That guy making them.
Bill Gates. The chicken got approved for sale for the U.S.
So is
and
it
then,
not real chicken?
Who knows? Because I don't even know if they force them to label it as such. So these people could be buying chicken from the store and not knowing that.
Illegal. You should be able to know.
But all I know is that they're not the only ones posting this chicken. Mad people are posting and complaining about chicken that they're buying being all fucked up and shredded like that. And this is coming 2 weeks after the approved synthetic chicken law came through. So, you know what I mean? Like, I think that's exactly what's happening. They're not labeling it, and people are buying it thinking it's real chicken, and it's not. And fucking, we're not gonna know until, you know.
That's crazy because they literally label everything else, like organic bananas and all that.
GMO.
Like they literally label everything else. So the fact that they wouldn't label that to me is weird. It should be illegal, I feel.
I mean, it should be, but when you're Bill Gates and you can pay fucking anybody billions of dollars, fucking, you can probably get away with a lot of that shit. Oh shit. Battery low.
All initial opinions are this is genuine. What you're about to see may disturb you.
And there's a reason why I'm getting the off
I've seen that too.
Either believe it or they cannot believe it. I don't give two but I am telling you right now, that
right now,
that back there is not real.
What do y'all think about that situation?
I mean, I don't know. She could have been tripping balls.
That was my first thought. She was either drunk or high.
Honestly, I think it was scripted. Like,
Really?
yeah. Somebody slowed down the video, and during the video, she does something like this, and which you would not know what that is, but that's a Freemason sign for Baphomet. It's as above, as below. So it's something that the Freemasons go by, and yeah.
You can imagine the video. What's up, nigga?
But much like all this stuff that's coming out in the news, like, you know, people were saying like this is kind of a way to like scare people, to make you think of the idea that there could be people around you that aren't the same as you, like not as real.
Alien niggas.
Hybrid aliens or some shit.
Speaking of weird shit.
This guy had an octopus in his throat. Yeah, no, this is actual news. This guy had an octopus living inside his throat.
What was he
was
doing to that
breathing,
octopus?
eating, and it was just absorbing food as it was living inside this guy's throat. You want to hear how it got extracted? Painfully. Let's get into it. What's worse than having a frog in your throat? How about a whole octopus? Yeah, it is worse. I'll tell you why. It was unaliving him slowly. Doctors were shocked when this guy came in complaining of throat discomfort. It's because he had an octopus in there. All right, anyway. It's not like it's a carbon fiber octopus. We would have a huge problem. And upon going in there, they got attacked by an 8-legged mollusk. The Singaporean man started throwing up following a meal that included the cephalopod. The man also had trouble swallowing, prompting him to visit the Tan Tuk Seng Hospital. Doctors did a CT scan and saw that the freaking octopus was in his throat. They said it looked like something out of the movie Alien. Look, this is them actually scoping it. That's an octopus in his throat. Oh my god. The painful part is when they had to use forceps to pull that sucker out of there, because its suckers were holding onto the back of his throat, down deep in his throat. Thankfully, the patient recovered. Yeah, but think about getting that thing ripped out of there. What do you think about this?
Oh man.
I don't feel
I've
bad.
seen videos though of octopuses going into like little bottles and how they like eat.
Something about the man with the octopus in the throat.
Yeah, you shouldn't be playing. That's why you should be eating a lot of things on sushi and none of that raw stuff. You make sure
It
it's
sounds
cooked
like
and dead.
natural selection to me. That's what it sounds like. Shouldn't have fucking.
And it's just the fact that he didn't know. Like I would assume he'd feel some squirming, something just
Suction.
moving. Yeah, like the fact.
Something like he's. I don't know how it was unexpected. Like he had a whole. It's like if I ate a hot dog and it just got lodged in my throat.
You'd
I
feel
would
that.
You ate a whole fucking octopus. And
Even like the simplest things, like you eat maybe accidentally eat a piece of bone, and it just hits the right corner. Like you're feeling that until that shit goes down. That makes no sense to me. None.
The only thing, like, I don't want. It sounds racist, but like Asians really do gotta kill their food before they eat it.
Yes.
Because I've seen way too many videos, and like I know, like for them, it's more about the freshness of it. Like, you know, when you eat seafood, like seafood spoils quick, so they're about making sure that they eat the food pretty much like right after it's dead or whatever.
But isn't there chemicals and stuff that you poison something that you could get by eating stuff like this raw?
Certain things, yeah. Especially with sushi.
Parasites.
You get a lot of parasites with sushi. But I don't know, I guess that's their thing though, like culturally. You know what I mean? Like one time I seen this one video of this guy was eating some king crabs, and it was like a live king crab, right? He just reached over, chops its leg off while it's still alive, and then sets it on fire. And I'm just like, was that necessary?
Cruel. Yeah, that's cruel.
Like you couldn't just killed it, then chopped off its legs, and then set it on fire. Like, why did it have to be alive while it was on fire?
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like
it's the taste of fear, like a scarecrow and shit.
But Dad used to say that. I remember he used to say, well, I don't know if you were there, but I remember him saying that he would get. I told you that he would get the calf as soon as it was born. They would get the calf, kill it, and eat the meat. And there's it tastes different.
Just generally, just baby.
But it's dead though. It's not alive and kicking as it's going down your throat. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, other crazy shit. But
and an octopus is like with the. It's super smart and it has all those suction cups on its hand, so it's like it can grab as it's going down. Like,
nigga, you should have fried me. You should have fried me. Because he'd be dead.
Or at least deal a quick death blow. Like I seen there's like a way to
humanely kill a squid. You
like
just karate chop them in the fucking head, and then they die. Their whole body dies.
They get all pale and shit.
You hit them and they lose all color and they die. But yeah, you obviously didn't hit them with a karate chop. You want to consume them while they're alive. These are the risks associated. I do not feel bad, and we're moving on. So, Pastor, doing some wild shit in the name of Jesus. Jesus will protect me from this venomous creature.
Oh my God, that's just.
That's just a little blood. Oh.
God don't heal stupid. God don't heal stupid. Like, you're stupid. And this all goes back to what you said. Bad representative. Like, he's a bad representative of what the religion is. Because that's just stupid. That's just...
Nah, I do be making some good points sometimes. But, like, in this one, right? Like, I think this... Right? Like, the problem with this is that the fake Christians are too performative. So, like, for example, right? You go to some church in Iowa, right? Where don't shit go on. Nothing happens in the town. So you wanna heal somebody.
Liven it up a little bit.
Yeah, you wanna brighten up, right? So you wanna heal some dude, or you wanna resurrect the dead,
so
or something.
Bust out the snakes.
Something biblical, right? So bro thought he had the power of God inside him. You know what I mean? Like
that.
he was running on that high. He was like, let me grab this rattlesnake.
The power of Christ compels you, nigga. You ain't gonna.
But that was like he prepped that shit. You don't randomly find like a rattlesnake just
no, of course.
The nigga was prepped.
He might have found a random ass rattlesnake and didn't know shit about it murdering him. But even a regular rattlesnake that wouldn't kill him that fast. Like he ran to
that rattlesnake. Like, yo, he's like, that was God.
Yeah,
God,
I guarantee you that's what happened. I don't think he went and picked out a snake. Because if he went and picked out a snake, he would get one that would have like at least not crazy.
Not venomous.
He got bit. No, maybe venomous because non-venomous is pointless. He's biting me, but he's not gonna do nothing. You're saying that God's gonna protect you. You should have got if he was picking out a snake. You would think like, all right, God's gonna protect me, but only so much. So let me get one that's not. Let me get one that's not crazy. I guarantee you that nigga saw that fat motherfucker wheel in the back. He's like, you know what? You know what? Get some real riled up. You know what? Get them going for the ceremony. I'm gonna get that snake out back. That one that been fuck with everything, biting stuff and killing it. Well, I got the power of Jesus in me. It's gonna bite me, and ain't shit gonna happen to me. Okay? I'm gonna show everybody the power of God. And I swear, it was a minute and a half. Then it was falling out.
Yo, he got woozy.
Oh,
he died.
Yeah, you have to literally have the antidote, like.
But he had to get a real venomous snake for him to feel it that fucking quick. But it didn't.
It's a rattlesnake.
It didn't bite him in the neck. Well,
I think about him in the shoulder area, like this. Like,
but his main arteries.
But even then, I mean, like the venom
straight to the brain, right there.
If they get you like near that, like you said, like the vein, like that blood flows quick.
It's going straight up there. He's gonna get sick instantly. Like he's fucked.
Yeah,
that nigga went to heaven that same service.
You
did? I mean, I was being.
Oh, okay.
But, like, I don't even know what that means. I don't even know why I said that.
You probably like, my son, you are a dumbass.
But
I'd send you back, but you fucked that up too. You know, they don't believe in snakes anymore. Let's say that no one's gonna be a veterinarian for your service.
That's why you can't play with God, yo. Because like when you die, like you gonna have to answer for that shit. Like,
fuck that.
So this is Joe Biden.
Deserve to answer for
forgetting somebody's name again.
This is Joe Biden forgetting that the Pope is black.
This is what it is.
A famous African American baseball player.
Yo, that's
so he looked at the Pope and said, "He's like, oh, you're a famous African American player."
It's crazy that they let these videos post. Like, what are you telling people that are crazy to come here to the United States and bomb us? That our president is not competent enough to be president.
Did you see that lady? She looked at the Pope. She was like, "He thinks you're African American." Like, not even the fact that he didn't even know that was the Pope. He just thought he was a black man. Like,
that's scary to me.
You're one of the funnest African American baseball players I've ever seen. Like, what the fuck?
That's scary.
Pope, like, the only baseballs I've held are belong to little boys. Like,
nigga, you went there. Nigga, you went there.
He's like, yeah,
speaking of burning in hell.
Setting a raccoon on fire. Yeah, he tried to explain himself as he walked out of jail. Take a listen to this.
88-year-old, first time I ever have to go to jail. I never thought about killing nobody in my lifetime. No man, no woman, no kid.
Just a raccoon, says Ezra James, who after posting his $2,000 bond describes planning to kill the animal for eating his mangoes. And he says to prevent it from biting him and giving him rabies.
I throw some gasoline on him and draw a match.
James says he set the raccoon on fire after catching it with a metal trap in his front yard. The 88-year-old saying the neighbors saw it and called the police. He still seems upset she did that.
So why are you going to
She's a wicked woman.
James is originally from Jamaica and says he did not know that authorities would have humanely euthanized the raccoon. When police arrived at 10 o'clock Thursday morning, James watched an officer shoot the raccoon to put it out of its misery.
2 shots and kill the raccoon.
He may now have to explain his actions to some disturbed neighbors.
I would never believed he would have done that.
James and Nancy Gill have been neighbors for 20 years.
I sure hope he thinks about it because God don't want us to do stuff like this.
I'm not going to catch no more because I learned my lesson.
So you won't set another raccoon on fire?
No, I don't read that.
What you really need to do is call and have somebody come and get him. Not do what he did.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard because if he's not.
It's a cultural thing.
That's what I'm saying. He's not from here.
He's like, in Jamaica, we set them on fire. They won't eat my mangoes no more. Motherfucker.
Yeah, that's a little.
You know, like in Jamaica, we set them on fire. We eat them with the mangoes.
That's a little excessive.
Yeah, I mean, he could have just shot him. If he shot,
he could just shot like an arrow or something.
No, he shot him with anything. Nobody would have said anything. It's Florida. They don't give a fuck.
It's just the fact that he set it on fire.
Yeah, if he got caught, it was a wrap. They don't. No one would care.
You know that raccoon probably screamed like a motherfucker while they were like just running around, just looking for somebody to say, "Fucking mangoes, you evil bastard!"
Yo,
you can't put out some tempting ass mangoes and be like, the raccoon, little homeless nigga.
But it makes you think of our neighbor because he got that mango tree and the squirrels be climbing up that bitch and they'll just like
not even ready.
Yeah, no, but they'll just like they don't even eat the whole thing. They'll rip a chunk off and then just like leave it there and just fucking ruin the fruit. And I'm just like, You fucking little shits. So I can only imagine. I'm like, and this ain't my mango fucking tree.
Imagine
If I was
you came home one day and you just saw them hanging from a tree just set on fire.
fat raccoon just sitting on your shit, like. I mean, I probably would have tried to kill it too. You know what I mean? Like, but I wouldn't have set it on fire.
It's the way. It's the way. It's not that he did it. Mm-hmm. It's the way he did it. Because it's a little.
And also, you have to think about too, like homeowner association, like who your neighbors are. Like, especially if like you live in an area where there's a lot of white people. Like, and I'm sorry, white people, but y'all some Karens. Y'all be quick to start recording and calling cops and try to get niggas in trouble. So it's like you gotta think
for 20
about
years
that.
and you did an interview about how you should have did something different instead of talking to them. That don't sound weird. Like you lived down the street from me for 20 years and I couldn't go to you to be like, nigga, why don't you just call the ASPCA? They would have took them out for you. Instead of going on TV while you're in jail and telling that niggas what you should have did. What kind of fucking neighbor are you? Like, and you call the cops on him, bitch? Maybe he would have known if you fucking told him instead of calling the cops. Maybe. You know, he had to kick out $2,000 for fucking bail. Like, the cop shot him with an $8 bullet. Like, he's an old ass man. Like, that was probably his whole Social Security check for the next, like, 3-4 fucking months. Because he burned a raccoon. Like, I get it's fucking wrong, but, like, you heard them say $2,000 in bail to get out for a fucking raccoon? Like, with raccoons' rights? Like, what?
I mean, it happens though. Remember when we covered that case about the black man that killed the iguana? Oh wait, that was I think with Lewis. Not too long ago. I think right after I got here to Florida, this black man he killed the iguana like very viciously, like in front of some people, and he got arrested for it. And they said the reason they arrested it for him was because it was animal cruelty, because like the extensive beating that he gave it or whatever. But it was like, to me, what I didn't understand was
the extensive beating.
But in Florida, y'all pay people to hunt iguanas. This dude, maybe, he gave it an extensive whooping, but he killed it. This is what y'all pay people to do. Like, why are y'all threatening to send him to jail for, like, I felt like it was a bit too extreme with the consequences.
Jail,
But you know, white people care more about animals than they do about, like, other races. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes, like,
this is true.
Fucking a black man gets killed by a cop and then they're just like, Blue Lives Matter. Fucking raccoon gets set on fire by a black man and they're like, send that nigga to jail. Lynch him. Like, they just, you know what I mean? Because they really fuck with animals. Because animals are cute. Fucking, you know what I mean? Like,
until they eat your baby's fucking hand.
Full circle.
But yeah, I mean, you gotta be smart though. Like, you gotta essentially, like I said, I'll be tripped out sometimes to even smoke blunts in the backyard, just because if I can hear people like on certain sides of me, I'm like,
the Karens are watching, baby.
I don't trust that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, more like the dog when he looked at me, like I was like, whose owner, whose dog is this? Like, because this dog is sus. But you know what I mean?
Skinwalker type shit.
Yeah.
It's not a real dog. It's not a real dog.
You gotta do the sign too. It's not a real fucking dog.
Fuck you! I know who you are. I say you slap bitch.
All right, I think that's enough for today. Thank y'all for tuning in. I hope y'all got some entertainment value out of this. But yeah, make sure y'all research y'all shit, yo. Research NASA.
Watch your babies.
Look at NASA.
Watch your fucking babies, you irresponsible ass
deceitful motherfuckers. But yeah, man, don't be having no pit bulls around babies.
Yeah, don't be smarter than that.
Like,
and don't be putting no fucking octopuses in your throat if you haven't fried them, okay? You can't just let them live and eat them whole and not expect some get back.
Yeah, because he's going to be like Aaron. He's going to be trying to get out of your tight
mouth. You haven't seen none of these fucking animes you've been putting out. The nigga just crawled right out of that shit right after they ate that nigga. He wasn't going down without a fight.
Rumbling.
And if an octopus can break out of a prison cell better than you, I would definitely make sure that nigga dead before you put him inside your body. That would be the smart decision. Otherwise,
find the Orcas and start this peace treaty, because I'm not trying to beef with the Orcas.
Somebody send Free Willy a kite. Tell that nigga we don't want no problem.
The fuck is a kite going
trying to go on a carnival cruise? What do you mean, a kite? What do you mean?
I could understand some fishes, but a kite?
A kite that may drop some fishes with some messages is what I'm saying. Tell that nigga we cool. We try to get on a Carnival cruise at some point. We can try to get taken out mid trip. You know what I'm saying? We get there.
Yeah.
Niggas might come in there and start fucking us up. Send Aquaman. You know what I'm saying? Aquaman, come talk it out. You people, yo.
And then what killed me was just like how they targeted the specific parts of the boat that made it, like the rudders.
You know what?
So that
It
couldn't
was probably some fucking fish mafia type shit. Like I told y'all niggas don't be running these boats down these ports no more. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sure it is, but why? What caused, like, what interaction set it off where these orcas are just like
enough?
They posted that video about that fucking mermaid in Puerto Rico, yo. They were like, nah, y'all broke the fucking peace treaty. We said you can fuck the mermaids, you can't post them on World Star. You fucked up, and now everybody gotta die.
Did we
Everybody
cuck the
gotta
orcas?
die. Huh?
Did we cuck the orcas? Is that what happened?
Yeah, you gotta get it right. We fucking their bitches, you know, with their fins and shit. He's like, you could have that fin like Adam 22, but he don't want to know about it. You know what I'm saying? You know, we were giving it to him better than the whales could. But nah, fuck that, nigga. Y'all gotta die now.
So I'm gonna call this episode "Did We Cuck the Orcas?"
Oh my God. Or cucker. Or cucker.
Anyways, yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate it. See you guys in 2 weeks or so, depending on how life is. Yeah, I mean, right now I'm trying to drop some music and shit. So if y'all get a chance, make sure y'all go to my TikTok page and show some support.
Like, follow,
my newest
subscribe.
single, A Beautiful Lie. Fuck you, bitch. You know who it's about. And yeah, I'll see you guys.
Pew,
Later.
pew, pew.
Peace.